Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first set of turns as Pangea in our Disciples game. I'm the False God. Let's go ahead and let's start running through it. I have a lot of save files right now. We skip number 1, of course, and we go right into number 2 because we can see what we did on number 1 in turn number 2. We start off with 20 province income. That's pretty great for turn 2. We're going to be getting this gold for the rest of the game until we, lose it in another event or something. In terms of recruitment, we recruited a bunch of our Centaur warriors. As we are going with our blessless Scales Pangea to help support Ubar and Satis, we're not going to be doing much with the White Centaur early. We will eventually be looking to recruit some, because we'll have those unholy weapons to help fight off other enemy sacreds. But for expansion purposes, we don't need them. They just cost more. It costs 20 extra golds. It's like an extra third compared to our Centaur Warrior for not all that much gain. There's a hit point. There's an MR, which doesn't matter early. A defense and attack. They're a little better, but not enough without a bless. So we just went ahead and recruited as many Centaur Warriors as we could, which is what we're going to do this turn as well. We threw them in with our Minotaur. Everybody is going to go in these blocks. I can't believe I didn't give them any orders. But I did test this stuff out. I wonder if I just saved it before I gave them orders. What we're going to have is our javelins are undisciplined. They're going to be in the front. They're going to run forward and chuck javelins. These guys will then filter through and help them out. They don't have any javelins. And we're going to try and have our cavalry attack the rear with our Minotaur being careful and not dying. One of the ways that we lost expansions in testing was this Minotaur dying. And he's tougher than a human. But he goes berserk and he'll trample if you're not careful and run through the enemy, and then he gets killed real fast with his 9 protection and 9 defense. We also recruited one of our Centaur Hierophants. They're going to be our researchers, our light thugs, and for early game, they're going to be our leaders of our extra expansion parties. Now, we can't afford, essentially, to get them and the maximum number of Centaur. So we're sort of getting these guys, I think, every other turn for a little bit. In terms of the indies around us, kind of tough in some ways. The Bear Tribe isn't super strong, but this one's 70, which is a lot. This is not too bad. Jaguars are not too bad. Amazons can be difficult depending on exactly how many there are. Also, not an unfortunate pop type, but one that doesn't give us anything. It'd be a lot better if this was spawned over somewhere near Ubar, who doesn't have the water nature cross path already like we do. And then there's also Cynocephalians, who can be difficult as well. Now, from a geography perspective, we have us here, Ubar is here, and Satis is here. There are no enemies in this area. So it is most important that when possible, we expand outwards and not inwards. First, I think that we have pretty good expansion. We're going to try and help set this border while we let these two potentially grab more of this more of this central territory. It's also, a lot of wastelands. So it's not necessarily worth a terrible amount of gold, but we're going to let them mostly look to expand in. And our job is to try and get as much of this as we can. So an enemy capital, I think we know because of the map spawn, is either here or here. Maybe here, but it's pretty close. So this is up for grabs, and is big. This is certainly up for grabs. Oh, okay, this is not really up for grabs. This is up for grabs. This is pretty close. This is probably triggering a war. I think they were here. But we want to try and get this line basically. So we're gonna head right into the Cynocephalians, and try and hit them that way. Satis appears to be making elite warriors, and Ubar is going to expand with camel riders and soldiers, I believe. Okay, so that's turn That's turn 2. Not too much going on. You'll notice, right, we do not get a prophet because we have 2 disciples. So it'll be a little bit easier for them potentially to expand. Their gods are going to come online in time for expansion, whereas ours is a piece of granite and is not going to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into turn 3. And we can start to actually see some of our expansion. Oh, we should talk about research too. So we went ahead. We're Pangea just likes alteration. We're gonna do a little bit of other stuff, right? But alteration is our home. Because we're gonna pick up. So 1 and 2 aren't like super useful, but at 3 we get Moss Body and Protection, which are both gonna help our troops a lot. And then at 4 we get Swarm, which is also very nice. But mostly we're making our way up to 5 for Wooden Warriors and Mother Oak. You know, and Maws of the Earth is also great on our Earth random pans. Maws can do quite a bit of good work there. You know, Bone Melter is technically something we have access to from a crosspath perspective. I don't know that we're going to be using that one a ton. But yeah, big ones, Mother Oak, Wooden Warriors, Swarm, all very, very good. Temper Flash is going to be good for our thugs. And then, yeah, Moss Body, again, could go well with our thugs using a buffer. So, yeah, we're going to pretty much be heading up Alteration as much as we can. We're probably going to have to make quick pit stops in Conjuration 3 for the powers before we can activate some of the good stuff from Earth, like the Maws. Construction, we want at least Construction 2 to sort of get some equipment going. And then Enchantment 3, we've got Earth buffs. Right, Construction 3, we've got Earth buffs. I don't remember if there's a ton for us early in Thaumaturgy. Haruspex to help us site search, I suppose. Probably not as much Thaum early. So that's where we're headed up to. Our research is going to be pretty bad for a while, though, because we're going to have to use mages to expand, and we don't have ability to make a ton of stuff. Our stuff is so expensive. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at some battles. I probably won't show every battle that our allies do, just because you'll run in, we'll have just so many battles at that point. But we're going to try and do at least early on to see what they're up to. So he's got, I assume these are his starting army, and then this is what he probably recruited. Not quite scripted perfectly right. These guys have run out ahead, so they may take some. Oh, he's got these guys fire. Okay. Yeah, I mean, still, really, you'd like to have these guys all hit at the same time, and we should hopefully be throwing javelins while we're not in melee, because we're going to javelin our own guys here a little bit. Probably. But in any event, he does appear to be easily able to win this. Yeah, there go the lizards, and stab. Poke. He loses 4 elite warriors. Now, elite warriors don't have tons of protection or defense or HP for that matter. So they are going to die a lot, but I think that they probably could have been scripted a tad better. Let's go ahead and check out Ubar's. Right, this way we can comment on everybody else's thing before we watch what I do. So Ubar's got these camel riders who all have birds. He's got the archers, and then he's got some of these soldiers. So those birds are going to distract the enemy. Right, they're going to draw their attention. They're also going to generally cause them to show up. They're going to lose their cohesion and sort of show up like the Satis troops did. You can see here, these guys are out a little bit ahead. Do you guys have javelins? They do. So there's going to be a lot of missile fire coming out at all these troops before they make it. Now these javelins, I don't know. These guys are, don't look like they're. I don't know what their leadership is on. Like this guy, only 40, yeah. So couldn't put them in a line or anything. Yeah, they're a little bit not quite all together, but should be okay. They're gonna poke through a lot of arrows. These guys do have, a shield though, so they're gonna block pretty good amount. But independent armies are routed, so they get a nice win there. They lose 3 Ubaran soldiers, and then we have a fight. Against the Cynocephalians. So, as we talked about, right, these guys are going to run forward and try and hit a backline. These guys are going to go and throw javelins, and then these guys are hopefully going to filter through. You can see these guys are already taking some pretty good damage. We do not have shields on these troops, and their protection's garbage. But hopefully we're going to disable a lot of these archers here with our centaurs, sort of getting in at the back. And then the rest of our troops can run into and kill these Cinesphalians that come forwards. So, our armies rout. But I think we managed to do this before he really gets off the field with too many. So we lose some centaur, which is pretty tough, as well as some satyrs. We found a snake ring, which is fine. Yeah, losing 4 centaurs definitely hurts the ability of this party if there's something hard up ahead. Maybe we could have looked to do a different formation and put more of these guys up front so they take more of the losses. But I mean, as you can see, they routed and they didn't lose anybody, really. So, kind of tough. And the Cinesphalians are a tougher pop type as well. We pick up more province income. We already are growth 3, so that doesn't help. But, you know, now we're at 25 province income from where we started. And we get our Harpy Queen right off the bat, which is pretty great. So this is our only air access, and a nature 2. So she's going to be able to start immediately. I'm going to put her to work site searching, right, because she's our only air. It would be nice to have the research, but she also makes harpies, which could come in handy for like blood hunting or something later. So yeah, we don't have... We definitely took some hits here, which is tough. But we're going to try and take out these heavy infantry militias and archers. And we can see that Yomi is our opposition. I think one of these two is Yomi then, obviously. So we're going to hope that there's no bump here, because this group's probably not winning a bump against much. Although Yomi can't have Dione out yet, I don't think. They go 1. Yeah, because Dione take too long to recruit. So this can't be a Dione. It has to be their starter expansion. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and try and take this valuable province that's sort of up for debate before Yomi can get to it. And then as far as recruitment, we're going to keep making centaur. And again, we're not going to make a leader because we just can't afford it. We need the centaur to expand. So that's what we're doing on this turn. Let's go ahead and jump to turn 4. All right, well, again, we'll check out these battles. When it gets more, we'll stop. Picked up, I think these are mercenaries. I'm not sure how else he would get them. But we got lots of arrows coming out, which are going to do great against these Cinesphalian archers. They have no protection, no shield. The birds, big distractors as well. Fortunately, all the arrows look like they're... Oh, there we go. Those are targeting these. We'll just hit fast forward, though. But pretty clear how this is going to go. Archers did a good amount of work, and the birds helped. He still lost 12 Ictiids, though. Those Cinesphalians are tough. So here, we're trying again. Or not trying again, we're trying for the first time. But we're going to have our centaur look like they're going to run into these heavy infantry. Nope, they've changed targets. They're heading for the light infantry. Smack into those. Guys berserk now, right? So 12 protection is okay. But a lot of troops, a lot of enemies. We already lost a centaur. We're gonna hit them. We are gonna rout those, and then we're gonna hit the back line and kill these commanders off, and then this army routes. So we definitely lost another centaur. Probably some number of little guys too. Yeah. 4 Marsader. This group is starting to get real sparse in terms of what it's going to be able to take with only 3 centaur. And then we have Satis, same group as before, slightly shifted up his positioning. And he's against, oh yeah, I remember now. Knight of the Chalice, but more importantly, the Paladin, who has the Sun's Sun Sword, Sun Shield, Sun Helmet, and Sun Armor. 25 protection. He's got this big old sword with holy fire. He goes... He has gone berserk. Oh, that must be one of the... one of these probably makes you go berserk. But Awe, and Combat Caster, although he's only got Holy. He's going to be problematic for this army of lizards. They would need to get pretty lucky to hit him to break through. He can't route either because he's Berserk, so they're going to have to try and a 21 defense as well. So they're going to have to get around him somehow. But trickling in like this isn't probably not going to work. You're going to have to really do a number, get the surround if you're going to kill him. But they do not, and he just blows up everybody. They do route these guys off, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to make it. So Satis' party is dead due to the actions of a paladin. So that's tough. It's not where we wanted Satis to be. Yeah, so I decided that this group is not really combat capable anymore. So let's look at what we could go after. We could head up into these Lavaborn. 20 Lavaborn are 100% going to kill our 22 Misfits every time. We could probably take this, but with Yomi right here, right, if we think about, we're in kind of like an offset map nuke, right? We're not directly across. It's like, they're up a little bit, but this is definitely in his sphere of sort of influence. And if we were to take it, I think that we would find ourselves at war fairly quickly. It's not really what we're looking for. To go south, we'd run into elephants, who we definitely can't, 70 troops with war elephants. Our group's definitely not beating. They're not going to beat 50 bear tribe either. So we're just sending them home back here to go pick up some more reinforcements. I think eventually we'll probably use them as chaff against like some kind of cavalry run into or something. But we are sending out a new group led by one of these centaurs. He's going to hide in the back. Everybody else is going to go ahead and attack closest. He's going to do advanced in spells. And as far as recruitment, we're just recruiting more. So whenever we always need at least one of these, right, to lead the party. And we want to recruit it sooner rather than later so that we get more research in. We also are resource light, but that should get helped when we take this. We actually have a lot of provinces that should have decent resources around us, right? We got these highlands and then all these forests. So that's that. So yeah, Satis lost his group. I'm trying to go after this farmland, so could be tough to get that back. This is one where I think if he knew the pop, this is sort of like if you recognize the pop type, right, you would know that your force is not going to get it done, and you might attack one of these others, but I don't think he recognized the pop type. I'm not aware that there's another flagellant thing, but even if there is, you probably need to like ping this before you just charge in there. Additionally, this province, this forest, is an Anuki of growth and rebirth and an Anuki of love and war. So nobody's taking that anytime real soon either. It'd be nice if we could eventually try and like seduce them or charm them. But that's much later. As for now, we're not going to be able to take this anytime soon. There is some kind of an event going on here. An ancient ruin. So you can see, right, so he does not, these are dark vines, so that's a tough province for the Ubar army to take as well. So he's going to go ahead and turn inwards. War elephants would also be difficult. Although you can maybe route them. You get a lot of missile troops, but he's go ahead and turn inwards. So not the best turn of expansion. Go ahead and do one more turn here, and then we'll wrap it up. So turn 5. Turn 5. If we don't find any magic sites, sucks to suck. Satis sending out a new group with their elite warriors. Charging at these jaguars. So the jaguars are tough for elite warriors. They don't have any shields or anything, so they are going to get whittled down by this missile fire a little bit. But once they make contact, they're certainly going to chew right through them. So they lose, 6 Elite Warrior. I mean, Elite Warrior expansion always is going to take some attrition. So that's just kind of how that goes. This is a much more Centaur, obviously. This is enough that we are generally going to be able to run over just about everything we see. And it's pretty much going to go like that. Our Centaur are quite strong in this kind of numbers. And there's very little the Independents can do. We do lose 1 Centaur. Unfortunate. And then using up some more of his mercenaries. Got arrows coming out. Hitting the slingers is probably better than trying to hit these heavy infantry. They've got a shield. They've got more protection. They're probably not going to take tons of damage from the arrows. Whereas you might be able to just route these slingers pretty quickly. Again, we can see the birds' impact, right? These guys are coming in one at a time, which is exactly what you're looking for. They get netted up. Luckily, right, or not luckily, right? He skillfully put these Ictiids in front, right? These are the mercenaries, so they're going to take all the losses, which is nice. Another small group coming in. You're pretty likely at this point, right, to kill off enough of these guys individually that some of these later groups will just be routing before they even make contact. Although these heavy infantry are holding up pretty well. And fast forward though, you can see they're going to go ahead actually and take out all the melee troops from Ubar. Heavy infantry, not to be messed with. Luckily they do rout though. So costly victory. It's going to be tougher for this group to expand without any melee line at all. It's probably going to have to reinforce it. We pick up 6 gems at the price we intended. Oh, we never went over god names. Okay. We missed god names. Now there are no prophets though, so we didn't miss prophet names, so we don't need to go back for that. But here are our gods. I think we talked about the enemies already in the first video. We have a dog. They're not in order, which is annoying. So Insidious Fastidious is the god of Agartha, and his teammates are Dog Balls. And then, where's Femoria? The Hatched. I don't know what that is, but looks like a reference to something. And then we have, let's see, where Quetzalcoatl, the god of Mictlan. Yield, the first priest. I don't know that if that's a particular name. And then their other disciple is Stripey Baby. Don't know about that. Us, of course, we have 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. And then Seroshi, which I believe is this guy's D&D character. And where is Ubar? Ubar is Boxer. Of course, from the same book as 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Although eventually he doesn't live long enough to see us turn into 4 legs good, 2 legs better. That's a little spoilers for Animal Farm there. We've got Mubi. Now this is amusing, right? I have named a god Mubi before. And this player, I believe, had seen the channel, but I don't know. So first of all, right, it's from a movie. So it's very possible that they also watched the same movie, came to the same golden calf conclusion. But still a great god name. They are indeed a golden calf. So great name. Their disciples are Vanheim, which is Peter from the Jersey Shore. And their other disciple is TNN, Halbrand. So they've got some different... So Jersey is vaguely related to the movie that Mubi's from. Halbrand, of course, is not. He is from The Rings of Power, which I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Did not love The Rings of Power. I think that they made some questionable choices. But anyway, okay, we're running on. We're running a little long here. I'll have to save that rant. We are still missing... let's see, the Price Master, and who's got Helf Scrag. The Scrag Strikes Back, which is quite a name. And then his teammate is Cantankerous Jilm. Don't know what that one is. I think the last group is Mika with Sail and who's their other teammate? Lupus Day. So these are all the gods. Almost forgot them. Would have been tragic. Didn't want to do that. So real quick, what we're doing this turn, we're sending out another group, small group of Centaur, to reinforce this group. Not her, of course, but this group, and we're going to try and take out these Bear Tribe. There are fewer here, so there's probably like 40 Bear Tribe. Right? We saw 50 last turn. We see 30 this turn. So we're going to try and take those out and then combine, and then this guy will come back to pick up another group, potentially. We're also heading south to try and secure as much of this border as we can from our opponents, who we can't see anybody yet. But we're trying to expand this way and this way. Also 70 Amazons here. We saw a lower number earlier, so it's probably more like 50, but still hurts. Still a lot of Amazons to deal with. So yeah, that's where we're at. As of turn 5 on expansion, I would say we're not doing splendidly. Our first group kind of got whittled down, so we're having to send out help instead of sort of building up to another party. So we're looking at 2 expansions. Satis got his first group killed by the Paladin, which sucks. So he's now got only got 1 group going. Ubar has got just the 1 group going. I don't know where his sort of secondary group is. Depending on what he's expanding with, I might not be able to see them. We can also see Vanheim is our neighbor over here. I don't think we can see anybody else. So we know Yomi and we know Vanheim. So yeah, that's the first episode. We'll go ahead and come back for probably turn 6 through 10 tomorrow. So thanks everybody for joining me, and have a great day.